Alright guys, we're back. Stock analysis number 10 today. This one was recommended by James Cooper, and it is Prospect Capital Corporation, stock ticker PSEC, PSEC. Prospect Capital Corp is a publicly traded business development company commonly referred to as a BDC, and they make debt and equity investments in U.S. middle market businesses across a range of different industries in order to return money to shareholders. Before we get into the actual stock analysis of PSEC, we're going to talk about what a business development company is and the important things to know about them. Business development companies, referred to as BDCs, are companies which invest in small and medium-sized businesses with the intentions of growing them in order to achieve that return. They will also sometimes invest in distressed businesses in an attempt to turn them around. In order to provide capital to invest into these businesses, they use equity, debt, and other hybrid financial instruments, and oftentimes this invested capital is leveraged. It's important to note here that because BDCs are often dealing with leveraged cash, that they are a riskier investment. If the market takes a downturn and the BDC currently has a lot of debt on their hands, they're going to be in trouble. And similarly to REITs and MLPs, which we've talked about on this channel before, BDCs must distribute at minimum 90% of their annual profits to shareholders, and these distributions are then taxed at the investor's ordinary income rate. Because business development companies are required to pass on 90% of their profits as distributions to shareholders, they often offer investors higher dividend yields. Alongside that, because they're investing in small and mid-cap companies, often private, sometimes publicly traded, and companies that have not been succeeding recently, BDCs do also offer some capital appreciation potential. Getting into Prospect Capital Corporation here, stock ticker PSEC. They are in the financial services sector and they are a business development company currently trading at a share price of $8.31. Prospect Capital Corp was founded in 2004, so they have a long 17-year-old track record, and they are currently one of the largest BDCs with $6.4 billion currently under management. Because they're one of the larger BDCs out there, this allows them to have more control in the markets, targeting larger middle market companies. And it may also help them sometimes when targeting an investment if they have some competition when doing so. PSEC has a market cap of $3.2 billion, and their 52-week range has a low of $4.67 with a high of $8.32. Their beta volatility is 0.96, so you'll see their share price track its broader market quite closely. Additionally, Prospect Capital Corp has a earnings per share of $1.20 and a PE ratio of 6.9, which is very good. Here's the last year of earnings estimates for PSEC. Quarter 2 of 2021 is estimated to be 17 cents per share, which Prospect Capital was able to beat in Quarter 1 2021. Prospect Capital Corporation has an awesome dividend of 8.71%, which gives us an annual payout of 72 cents. Their payout ratio is 98.63%. I know this is just shy of 100. Don't let it concern you because this is common for BDCs as we talked about earlier. The 5-year growth rate of the dividend is negative 6.36%, so obviously we're heading in the wrong direction. And likewise, the company does not have any dividend increases in the recent past. Here are the last 10 years of dividend payouts. There was actually a dividend increase at the beginning of 2013, but subsequently has been a cut in 2015 and 2017 alike. Prospect Capital Corp has a price to book ratio of 0.88, which is good. That means the book value of the company is currently estimated to be larger than the share price. But on the other hand, the current ratio is 0.6, which means the company currently holds more liabilities than they do assets. It's also important to note for BDCs how much operating cash flow and levered free cash flow they have on hand. PSEC has $108 million in operating cash flow and they have $183 million available to them, which is currently not leveraged at all and available to be spent. Here are the diversified funding sources of Prospect Capital. You can see they're mostly notes and debts, but I want you to pay attention to the bottom left corner there in the footnotes where it says that PSEC currently has $1,082 million in commitments from 32 different lenders as of May 7th, 2021. It's really important that business development companies have money coming in from lenders because that's really how they function. The money that they're returning to shareholders and earning each year is made by borrowing money from lenders at a lower interest rate, investing into these smaller and mid-level companies. Once those companies are grown, then the BDC is hoping that the return from those companies is enough to pay off the original loan taken out to invest, and then anything else will be profit. This is dangerous if the BDC runs out of money to invest and they have not yet secured the desired returns, or if the company which they invested into is a flop and they can't turn it around. Now they're still stuck with that original money which they took out as a loan. And at that point, their only real option is to scrap the company which they were trying to grow and cut their losses. One of the things I do like about PSEC, especially right now, is that they are very good at consistently staying within their target debt leverage levels. You can see since 2018, they've fallen right between that 0.7 to 0.85 time range. And currently, they're even a little bit lower as of March 21st at 0.56, which is a good thing because we are currently seeing interest rates rise again. PSEC has a profit margin of 73.28% and an operating margin of 65.8%. These are both very good numbers. Additionally, they have a return on assets of 4.5% and a return on equity of 13.57%. You can see since fiscal year 2017, PSEC has been able to grow their equity. They kept it pretty consistent over the past 4 years, taking a little dip in 2020, but were able to take a big step up between 2020 and 2021, increasing their equity by about $700 million. Another great thing about Prospect Capital Corp is of the $6.4 billion in assets that they currently have, $4.4 billion of them are unencumbered, which represents about 73%. This essentially means that the unencumbered assets which PSEC owns are more liquid than ones which may be encumbered by creditors or lenders or whatnot. It's really more of a safety thing in case of a market downturn, but does offer insight into management's ability to protect their investments, and I think they're doing a great job. You can see here the investment strategy of Prospect Capital with about 50% in that middle market lending, 13% focuses on structured notes, 19% on middle market lending buyouts, and 17% in real estate, primarily targeting multifamily homes with value growth potential. Prospect Capital Corp's portfolio includes 123 investments with a 9.4% portfolio investment yield across these. And they are very well diversified in 39 different industries. And something that I would really like to point out to you here is that they have very low exposure to energy at 1.3%, hospitality and leisure at 0.4%, and retail at 0%. This is a really good thing because it shows not only management's ability to adapt with what's happening in the economy and the market, but hospitality and leisure alongside retail took a big hit from the coronavirus. And those are oftentimes the first industries to take a hit when there is any sort of unemployment crisis. And that's another good move by the management of Prospect Capital, I believe. Here is a breakdown of the 39 different industries which PSEC is diversified into, the largest being that real estate and structured notes, as well as 12.6% in consumer finance and another 12% in the healthcare provider and services industry. Prospect Capital Corporation is currently trading at $8.31. You can see here on the 1-year chart that they are way up from earlier this year, and they're currently trading above that red line, which is the 20-day moving average. The Relative Strength Index, RSI, at the bottom there is currently 61, which signifies that the stock is not overbought nor oversold. It is, however, closer to the overbought threshold at 70. And lastly, the analyst targets. The recommended rating is currently a 4, which means the analysts believe it will underperform. And the one analyst price target available from Yahoo Finance has the stock priced at a $6 target. All in all, I really like Prospect Capital Corporation. I believe that the 8.71% dividend yield is very nice, even though you're taxed at your ordinary income levels. And I definitely saw enough from management to make me confident in investing with them. With that being said, $8.31 is too high for me to invest into PSEC right now. And I wouldn't even be confident in investing into business development companies right now because we're seeing these interest levels rise during this post-COVID time. Prospect Capital Corp, stock ticker PSEC, definitely something I'm going to add to my watch list though. Thank you again to our friend James for recommending this stock to us. If you guys have something that you'd like to hear about, leave it down in the comments below. While you're down there, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. As always, I'm Patrick Zimmerman. Thank you for your time, and have a nice day.